it's like this thing is starting up on YouTube. It look
Yeah,
like.
it just started up.
Yeah.
What up, though? Welcome to the Hood Report, the spot where culture meets competition and where we spit real shit. Sports is for sure our focus, while culture guides and drives our discussions. In the end, our primary focus, is to ensure that our listeners and audience is informed and entertained. With that, today we have some very interesting discussions coming up on the big, the huge, the enormous Game 7 that's scheduled for today. So we're going to talk quite a bit about that. And then we're also going to talk, there's a big move in the NBA today. KD headed to the Rockets. We're going to take a moment, pivot, and talk about that. And then lastly, if we have time to get to it, then we may touch a little bit on the draft, but the primary topics are going to be those two. So first and foremost, to kick things off, I'm going to throw out a question. It says, what do you guys think were the keys on both sides in the Game 6 Pacers victory that lands us here today for Game 7? Q, why don't you go ahead and hit that one first?
Well, Rodney, I'm just gonna have to tell you, it was a good old fashioned ass whooping that landed us here. Let's break it down a little bit here. We got Chet Holmgren, 24 minutes, 2 points. We got SAG, 30 minutes, 21 points. Not that bad. But then we get Jaden Williams, 27 minutes and only 16 points. And he wasn't the same after Pascal Siakam took him to a new planet and dunked him and made him the poster for the next 10 years on everybody's wall.
That was a hell of a motherfucking dunk, too. Hell of a dunk.
Yeah, that was a hell of a dunk. He put that bitch down on him. Yeah, he put it down. He put that down. Yeah, I love that. Goodness. He put it down.
I think yes, Indiana came out with everything, all the might and everything, but OKC just rolled over. They knew they had a game in their back pocket and they played like it. They didn't give no effort. Like I say, they started off like a little bit, but nothing. Hats off to Indiana for taking care of business and fighting to get to Game 7. So that's my take.
All right, Martin, why don't you go ahead and hit that one?
The two keys, and one of them is what I've been saying the whole series. To me, the two keys in every game, in every winner, is about what bench plays better, and it's about the turnovers. And in Game 6, I tell you, TJ, and Toppin, they took over. TJ made so many plays. TJ McConnell made so many plays that don't show on the stat sheet, but he just made so many winning plays throughout that game. I mean, he was just huge. He was a man. But Toppin did his thing also. Toppin had 20 points. Toppin killed the bench and gave him a big boost.
He even bought no series.
Yeah, he has. But in every game, it's been about what bench played. Because look, you got Toppin with 20, you got McConnell making all them plays, and then hey Tweety, how you doing, Tweety? I'm so happy Tweety came on. I was about to tell him, I was about to tell the world about Oklahoma City bench. Let's look at their bench in Game 6. Let's see. Caruso, he laid a 0. Your boy Caruso laid a 0.
Yeah, wait, hold on. He had how many points?
Caruso had as many points as you did, Rod.
Oh, did he?
He had a 0. He didn't score a point. Caruso didn't score a point. I'm not gonna talk bad about Caruso. But I'm just saying, Tweety, 0, really? Okay.
Yeah.
But then
after scoring 2 the last game.
He scored 2 before. So Caruso is not that guy. But their bench didn't give him nothing. Caruso didn't do nothing. Wiggins didn't give him nothing but 5 points, and Wallace didn't even score. So their bench got outplayed big time. So between the bench and the turnovers, they had OKC had 21 turnovers that game. They had 21 turnovers, and Indiana had 19 points off them turnovers.
Yeah.
So I think that's been the key of the series to me, because because for the most part, your best players they usually step up. SGA didn't have a big game this game, but this was his first like slow game. But in every game, it came down to the bench. What bench steps up, and it's about who turns the ball over and who don't turn the ball over. That's the keys to me for today, especially today as well.
Okay. All right. Hey, Tweety, right in time, man. Hey, you up next, baby.
On time.
You up next, baby.
I'm so happy.
The question is, because you're on a second later than here. Question is that what do you think were the keys for both sides in Game 6 with the Pacers pulling out the victory? What were the keys to the game?
Wait to hear this.
The keys was the game. It was the bench. It was the bench, and Oklahoma, the bench never showed up. The whole team never showed up. I think they got stuck. They were stuck in OKC. They never came to Indiana. The whole team never showed up. So I don't know what the hell. You know what? I don't even care. You know, the OKC, they should have closed them out, boys out last game. So if they lose, that's on them. They should have came.
Hey.
It is what it is.
Whoa,
it is
Tweety.
Is he they should have had that killer mentality and killed them and won that game in Indiana. If what it is, okay, if they have to come home, they have to come home and they have to show up this time.
Yeah,
the crowd got to get into it. The bench got to show up. Yeah, what y'all say? The role players bench play well at home.
Yeah, and that's what's supposed to happen.
I'm shine.
They will.
That's true.
So it was the whole OKC didn't show up. They didn't even play.
All right, I'm gonna hit this one. So first and foremost, I'm gonna say if you rewind the tape back and go back to before we talked about the series, who was one of the key players that I called out? TJ McConnell. I called out McConnell and said a little quick guy against their defense. They don't do as well with the quick guys they do against the big guys and long guys that are trying to dribble the ball. So TJ, I think when I look at the game, TJ and fucking Toppin has been phenomenal. What he's done in his game, and where he was just a dunker coming out of college, and when he was with the Knicks, he was just a dunker. What he's done with his game, left hand finger roll, he had left hand little short jump hook. He was hit threes at a high level. I mean, Toppin has been bomb. I think when you look at the two things, I would agree with most of what Martin said has been controlled by the Indiana kept themselves to 10 turnovers. OKC had 21. Of those turnovers, most of those were live ball turnovers. They had 16 steals. So Indiana had 16 steals and had 21 turnovers were called, leading to the points that Martin mentioned a moment ago. And then on the other side, Indiana got more shots because they only turned the ball over 10 times. So for the first time in a while, they hadn't been at the 20-point mark in this series, and therefore you saw they were able to get more shots. They didn't shoot a great percentage, but just more shots. They shot the three ball decently. Still haven't shot it back to what they've been shooting for the playoffs, but they were able to shoot that decently, and they were therefore able to win. And then I think the other piece of it is from a defense perspective, Indiana really stepped up their defense. Indiana's defense was really, really good. Really, really good in that game. And where OKC, normally you expect to see more aggressive defense, whatever. I don't know if it was the spacing, because the spacing for Indiana was good. But OKC's defense wasn't aggressive or assertive. So I would hope that they weren't sitting on their laurels and thinking they're going to come out and win Game 7. That might be the case. But I think the big keys were reducing turnovers. The bench was big. And then I think some subtle changes that were made by Carlisle that were the difference in the game. Go ahead, Martin. Would you about to say something?
Right.
Or no, go ahead, Quinn.
Like I was going to double down on what you were saying about the defense. You know, all playoff long, we've been watching OKC, and they've been this harassing defense, you know, coming off the ball, off your blind side, doubling you. But when we were watching that game, that's what we were seeing Indiana doing. We were, and like Rodney said, McConnell and especially was coming off the ball, you know, picking pockets and, you know, and leading breaks going the other way. So, you know, it was a total reversal of what you normally see. Indiana's defense was just out of control. And OKC was just not ready for it.
And what I would say, I think part of that is I won't say it was all OKC defense, but how you kill that aggressive attacking defense is spacing, where you don't allow them to be able to, because you don't have enough
Double
space
and-
between players.
yeah.
It's not easy to double. So now if you come off, you're gonna leave somebody wide open. So I think part of it was, I'll give credit to coaching, because that's one of the subtle differences between that game and the prior game, game 5, was the spacing was better, which disallowed them the opportunity to be able to double team. So I think that was key. So I think I guess the next big question is, so now we got the scene shifting, game 7. The big motherfucking game tonight is in OKC. Not picking a winner, but I'm saying, what adjustments would you be looking to make on both sides for both teams? If you're the coaches going in, what type of subtle adjustments would you look to make, and what do you think we'll see happen in OKC for Game 7 tonight? Tweety, why don't you go ahead and run it first?
Role players got to step big in this game. Either from OKC or Indiana. It's always the role players, and that's who always win these games. It's whoever come off the bench and give that big production off the bench. That's who go win this game tonight. And it has to be the coaching, especially the coaching on Indiana side. You got to have they got to be prepared for the noise, the crowd, energy of the team to come out and have a big lead, and then they got to settle down and just do what Indiana do, and just have them force that run. They're gonna go on the run, but Indiana has control that tempo in this game. So I think it's gonna come down to coaching for Indiana, and it's gonna have to come down for the role players for OKC, for either one to win this game for tonight.
Okay. All right, Martin, what do you see as far as adjustments or shifts that you think will happen today by both sides, or what would you be looking to do if you were on the sidelines?
Well, if I'm OKC, you got to get Chet going. Chet was horrible last game. I mean, he was horrible. I mean, 24 minutes, 4 points, and he's like their third option. They get it. For them to have a chance tonight, he got to step up. He gonna have to step up tonight. I mean, because SJ gonna do his thing tonight. I don't think nobody think that SJ gonna have a subpar game tonight. I really think he gonna have one of the biggest games tonight.
Yeah,
they're gonna need Chet to step up. If I'm Chet play like he played in game 6, they might be in trouble, because to me they need that third score. But not just that, Williams gonna have to step as well, because but Williams was subpar last game. I mean, I'm not gonna go off on too bad. He had 16 points, but Chet. What Chet did last game, it was horrible. It was just horrible.
Yeah, it was disrespectful.
They're gonna need him. Including that bench, like Tweety mentioned, and including that bench. But they're gonna need Chet to step up tonight. If you don't step up, they might be in trouble. And for Indiana, the reason why I picked Indiana from the beginning of this series is because of the multiple players that can score. They had 6 people that scored double digits. I mean, and when you get that production out of that many people, I think that's going to be huge for them tonight. So they're going to need their bench, and Halliburton didn't play bad last game, but I'm still expecting more. And I know he got a messed up calf, this and that, but suck that shit up. We need a big game for you tonight. Look, when I say big game, I'm not saying you got to score 30, but I think 20 points. Give me a good solid 20. And like 10 assists.
To win.
Give me a good solid 20 and 10 assists, and then. But I do think that the key for them too. I mean, before Halliburton, I think it's Siakam. Siakam have been here before. He done been in big championship games when they played. When he won with Toronto in the closeout game versus Golden State. I think he had like 24 and like 10 rebounds or whatever. They're gonna need a nice side of game out of him, because he's the one guy that's been here before, that been on this stage to do it. So, but Indiana got to get production out of their bench. And look, Carlisle, please give TJ about 30 minutes tonight. I don't give a fuck. Hey, give him like 30 minutes. Give him 30 and give Toppin the same amount, because both of them deserve it, because the way they've been playing, hey, they won that last game, and if they do that same production tonight, they'll win tonight.
Yeah. All right. Hey, first, before we go over you, Quentin, we're gonna say Laser jumped on. Hey, we're doing great. Hopefully, you're great. Thanks for joining and send us over a message. Quentin, go ahead. We'll go to you next. And what do you see as the key adjustments that are going to happen on both sides today?
Okay, well, for OKC, how about a round of smelling salts? Because they just was asleep the last game. Like I like what Tweety said when he said I don't even think they got on the plane. That was just somebody else in their jerseys playing. So the first adjustment is to come out and give the effort that you need to show that you're the championship caliber team that has got you here. First of all, like you say, with Chet Holmgren and his 4 points. It got to be better effort. Jaden Williams, yeah, he played decent, but I think he's seen the rest of the team kind of mailbagged it. So he kind of said, the hell with this. If everybody else mailbagged it, if SGA doesn't seem to mailbag it in, and what the heck am I out here getting dunked on for? So he kind of, I think they all just kind of took it off. So it's going to take a group effort. I'm going to think we're going to need a better game out of our buddy Caruso.
Right. He'll be better. He'll be better.
We gotta have a better game. I hope they ain't depending on that.
Hey, he might score 20 tonight.
I take that bet.
He gotta get better. So,
hey, after scoring zero, scoring zero to hit his average, you got to score 20.
He'll get 10 points tonight. He'll get 10 points.
Okay.
You're right. For the other side, for Indiana, it's gonna be a dogfight. You know that OKC gonna come out, with all the emotion, with the crowd and everything behind them. So they gotta, they gotta weather that storm. And if they can weather that storm, it might be, a whole game of weathering the storm and coming off the ropes at the last moment, to seal the championship. And if they can do that, that's the way it's gonna have to be. And that's probably the game you're gonna envision Indiana winning, a dogfight. Because if anything else happens, it's probably going to be of fortunes of Game 6. So we're looking for a dogfight. Halliburton played a great game. He wasn't perfect, but he was relevant, and that's what his team needs him to be. Is relevant. They don't need him to give everything, but he need to be relevant. Hit a couple of big shots, a big three from the left side where everybody was saying he can't shoot from. So thank God he's trying to hit something from the left side. I was even counting the shots he was missing over there too. So, those are my keys. Those are my keys on both sides.
Let me. I'm gonna talk real adjustments, and neither one of you motherfuckers did. Real adjustments that I expect to see. OKC hasn't shot the ball well from the 3-point line all series, so I think Carlisle's gonna mix in a little bit of zone and force them to shoot. They don't want to shoot. They haven't been able to consistently shoot the ball. I think he's gonna force them to shoot. I don't think you do zone for a duration, so you get used to it. I think you pick and shoot into quarters and different spots, and then I think he's gonna have a wrinkle today. I think that's what the wrinkle might be, is that he might throw in a little bit of zone on that side in order to throw them off and to be able to keep them shoot from the outside. I think on the other side of it, I think one of the adjustments from Game 6 that you didn't see, I think for OKC, I think they're going to go back to what is their traditional at all costs. Contrary to spacing and whatever else might be a problem, I think they're going to go and they're going to pressure the ball 94 feet and force Indiana to bring the ball up under that duress, and then force Indiana, hopefully, be able to force them into some turnovers. Because they know in a turnover game, they win. I think they know they win. So I think for Indiana, I think Carlisle's going to force them to shoot for OKC because they've not proven they can make the outside shot consistently. And then I think on the other side, I think they want to turn into helter-skelter and want to get Indiana their pace up and get them moving faster than what they want to, than what even they want to, and try to get that to force them into turnovers are the two biggest things that I think we'll see on that side. And then I think some of the stuff you all said as far as different players getting them involved, I think some of that is key, is getting contributions from those that have not contributed over the last couple of games. So I think those are the adjustments that I would see. Next one, I would say, okay, players. So what players do we expect to see that we think are going to be big on both sides and are going to be the difference makers tonight? So I'll hit this one first, and I will go to you guys. Is from the Indiana side of things. I think the TJ and the Toppin off the bench is huge. It's proven to be huge. I think to Martin's point, they got to give him the minutes, and I think you got to get Halliburton got to hit that 21 mark. I think Halliburton hit that 21 mark, then solidifies everything else for him, and I think they'll shoot the three-point ball better. So I think it's Halliburton and then your two bench guys setting the tone. I think Siakam's going to get his. I don't like the fact that the big boy's been a no-show, Turner, the last couple of games, but I think they can win with him just playing defense and maybe not scoring a lot of points. If he gets points, if he hits his shot finally for the first time in a couple of games, then it's a bonus. On the flip side of it, I think OKC, I think it's really all about they got to get some bench production. I think SGA going to get his. I believe that Williams, they can't stay in front of fucking Williams, so Williams is going to get his. I think to solidify them, I think home will be nice, but I think they got to get some production off their bench, which then allows them to rest SGA and rest Williams because they want to have SGA fresh for the fourth quarter. If the other guys aren't doing anything and SGA has to do too much early, then we've seen what happens to him in the fourth quarter. He's going to be worn out because Indiana, I think, is going to put the pressure on him. So I think those are, from a player perspective, the things that I see and those that I expect to be key in the whole deal. So I would say, Quentin, what you got next? Who do you see for players on both sides that you're going to be watching that you think are going to be difference makers? And then we'll go to the question. We'll go to our questions next. Go ahead, Quentin.
Okay. Well, we already going to expect, the great players to do good. So we, on OKC side, SGA going to get his, Williams going to get his, that's guaranteed. So I'm looking for Dort. Dort to have a good game. He had some big games for hitting some threes, and stuff like that. So I'm looking for Dort to have a good game. And then I'm looking for Caruso not only to play some defense, but to, add some points to it too, and give us maybe a double-double,
Double-double from Caruso?
Yeah, why not?
A double-double?
Why not?
Okay. That motherfucker would be happy with a single double, I think. That motherfucker did shit the last two games. All right, go ahead, Gordon, finish up.
Yeah, but he at home. He played different at home.
We'll see.
And on the other side, it's got to be Turner. Miles Turner. He's been having an off couple of games. He might have been to get him to the conference finals. To get him here. He might have been one of the single reasons besides Pascal and the other guy and Halliburton. He was that third guy. He was hitting everything, from the outside. He couldn't miss. So, if he gets back to that, I think that would open up some things for everybody else, and it would really help them. So I'm gonna look for Turner. Turner would have to, get off and do his thing.
Okay. All right. So let's see. I'm gonna read the comment we got here from Mr. Rice, and then we'll go to Martin. We'll go to you next. So Mr. Rice said Indiana will need to play his best game of the season on both sides, defense and offense, as the NBA and the refs give OKC and the NBA MVP the calls. And he's saying he thinks OKC by 5. So Martin, with that said, as we're going back to which players do you think are going to be the difference makers in the game today?
Let me do that, but before I do that, is two people that just said what's up and said how we doing. Stormy said hello. Hey, what up, Storm? And Lane R said how we doing. We all doing good, my brother. Hope you're doing good too.
We're doing good.
Now, for me, for OKC, like I mentioned earlier, I think the player that they don't need to step up. I think they're gonna need Chet to step up. I mean, Chet was a no-show last game, and he was a no-show last game. So they're gonna need him to step up, and they're gonna need their bench, Caruso and Wiggins. Caruso, Wiggins, and Wallace. They're gonna need all three of them to step up because in their wins, they were key to their wins. So I mean, scoring between 30 and 40 points a game, but between the three of them. But between Chet and their bench, I think they're gonna need them to step up. And one thing I disagree with you, Quinn. You said that what's name is a guarantee today. Jalen Williams. Now SGA, I think he is a guarantee for sure. But Jalen Williams, I don't know if he's a guarantee though. But we're gonna see about that. Okay. So yeah, but that's for OKC. For Indiana, they're gonna need Siakam to have a big game. I think they're gonna need Siakam to have a big game because, like I said, he's the guy who's been there. I'm not expecting too much out of Turner because Turner did it on the whole series. So I'm not going to expect nothing in Game 7 out of him. If he shows up and give you something, trust me, it'll be what they need for sure.
They're gonna need him, baby. They're gonna need him.
Well, I think they need his defense.
He ain't did this whole series, and it's 3-3. So I mean, I'm not depending on that to him to step up. But
best game of the season to win.
I think they gotta. Carlisle gotta. He gotta play these boys. McConnell, Toppin. He gotta play them. He gotta play them, and he gotta play them huge minutes. I'm telling you because from what I've seen these last couple of games, even in a loss, even that among any loss. McConnell still did his thing, and Toppin played good. So I think you gotta give them some minutes. But also, who stepped up? Last game, Nimhart. That was probably Nimhart's best shooting game. Last game he had 17. So, but that's the reason why I picked Indiana from the beginning because they have all these multiple people that can score the basketball, and so. They're going to need a team effort because it's going to be hard as hell to get this W today because on the road, that crowd going to be going crazy today. And one thing I agree with Mr. Rice about is they're going to have the refs on their side today. The refs going to be on their side today. I'm telling you that right now. Game 7, look, not just a Game 7 at home, but you got the MVP playing on your team too.
Yeah.
So Indiana better be ready for that. And Indiana can't get caught up in the bad calls because, trust me, it's going to be some favoritism show today, but they got to be bigger than that, and they got to play beyond that. So hopefully Carlisle is getting in their head and say, look, we ain't getting no calls tonight. We're going to have to beat 6 people on the floor today. But, hey, it is what it is. But if you told Indiana coming to this series that they was going to be in the Game 7, they would take it. So, so they're going to step up.
I'll tell you one thing before we go to Tweety. One quick comment is one thing they ain't fucking called is that fucking offensive foul on SGA be pushing off like a motherfucker, boy. He's a bad boy, but boy, he be pushing off like a motherfucker. They don't call it. They don't make that call. I'm like, God damn. I'm like, God damn. Are you gonna call it one time?
Man.
All right, Tweety.
That one time.
Especially not today.
What do you see as the key player, Tweety? Who do you see? Who you gonna have your eyes on? Who's gonna be the difference maker
for Indiana? You got to do with Mathurin. Mathurin got to come off that bench. He got to play. The coach got to play him more minutes than what he has been playing. That boy Mathurin. He needs to come off that bench and score. Okay.
All right.
And then also Thomas Bryant, that center, the backup.
They ain't even been playing him. They ain't really played him.
Like he come in and hit big threes.
He can hit threes. He can hit threes, but
he might need to.
And he might need to this game. Come in there and shoot some threes. He been hitting them sometimes in the series. So it all depends on this bench. It all depends on this bench if they can win this game. You got to be Thomas Bryant. You got to be Mathurin.
He be picking. Tweety be picking them unsung motherfuckers, boy. I tell you.
Hey, I'm.
You talking about Caruso, and then you talking about one guy don't even play. He got like 2 minutes the whole series.
I got news for you. He played for the Lakers too.
Yeah. I know Bryant did.
Yeah, he be playing for the Lakers too. That's why he picking him.
100%. Man, it's crazy.
Thomas gonna come in there.
I forgot about that, but he did play for the Lakers. You're right. All right, Tweety, what you got on there?
You know it.
What you got on the OKC side?
Okay. And then Turner, Turner gonna be Laker next year. But anyway, right now talking about this game. Turner need to step up like everybody said. Turner needs to step up, and he needs to hit some big shots also. Okay. And that's gonna be the keys for this game. And they need on defense not to switch, on everybody when they playing, especially on SGA and Williams. So when they go in and they cannot switch on defense. They need to keep Naismith off of Williams. So
no, I'll tell you actually who played Williams very good. You talking about as far when Naismith got the ball?
No, you're talking about when
on
Williams got the ball, right?
Yeah.
When we get the ball, no, I tell you, checked him the best was actually Siakam.
Who that?
Siakam was playing the best D on him.
Yeah.
He could. Jalen Williams couldn't get to the basket when Siakam was on. He was killing Naismith. I was like, I couldn't believe how easy getting past. I thought he had a better defender than that. But He hadn't been, but yeah, see, I can play good D
Yeah, he was
on
killing.
Williams.
I agree with you. And then OKC, we got to go back to my boy, Caruso.
Oh
Caruso,
my
he don't
God.
he don't have to score. Caruso, him and Wiggins combined, it's going to have to score at least 30 points for them to win.
Okay.
Together.
You gonna go to your grave talking about Caruso, huh?
I'm gonna have to because they need him. They need him to win.
Yeah.
I'm with Tweety. He
Especially
important.
on defense,
Okay.
uh, and harassing people and guarding people. He be on Pascal most of the time when he's in the game. So they need him on both ends of the floor. And And what about Hargenstein? Hargenstein gave OKC nothing.
Well, he had 10 points. He had 10 points last game.
So
But
okay, 10 points in the last 2, 3, 4 games. So he needs to step up. He needs to step up this game. Game 7. He needs to step up at the starting center for OKC to win the series, to win this game, the championship.
Step up how? Point wise, what you want him to do?
I want to do everything. You got to put everything on the line. Game 7.
He only had 4 rebounds last game. I mean, that's
come on now. You get 4 rebounds, you're 7.
I can't. Last game, everybody was. That was a massacre. I can't really go about last game.
But I will say
the last 3 games.
Yeah,
he played decent a couple games.
No,
he didn't.
Good enough.
He didn't.
Game.
If you're talking about Harkenstein, that was his best game the other day. And if you're talking about Harkenstein, he's not played good in the series. I mean, he wasn't starting at first. He wasn't starting at first. But I agree with Tweety. Yeah, Harkenstein hasn't played good this series. He's been a
step up in this
he
game
7 screens doing what he's supposed to do.
No, he ain't. No, when he was playing for the Knicks, he was more than that, setting screens.
Yeah. I would agree.
The one adjustment that wasn't did make last game, which they have to do with this game, Carlo have to do with this game, is he got to play Chet physical as hell. In the 2 games where they played him real physical, the 2 games they played real physical was game 1 and that last game. I mean, they was really just pushing him around because he only weighed like 10 pounds. So they were just pushing him around, and that threw his game off big time. They did. Not just with Chet. They did a great job with Chet. But the one person they've been doing a good job with too is Dort.
Yeah.
If Dort put the ball on the ground, because when Dort catches the ball and he just shoot, he's pretty good at that. But when Dort had to put the ball on the ground or do anything else besides just shoot, he's in trouble. So that's the 2 things they did real good last game. They played Chet real physical, and they made Dort put the ball on the ground because he can't score if he put the ball on the ground.
All you gotta do with Dort is close out that shot and stay on his right hand. Make that motherfucker out. If you want to do anything with it, Dort, you got to go left with it first. He gonna pass the motherfucker. That's what you got to do to Dort. Is you close out the shot and make him go left. He ain't gonna do either one. He ain't gonna do nothing with either one of those. So I think
the same thing with Halliburton. They didn't make him go left.
Yeah,
make him go left.
He
can go left.
Okay.
No, he ain't got no left hand. Make him go left.
He's better going left than Dort, but yeah, he's a dominant right hand player. I would agree with that.
Okay.
All right, so now as you step back to the game and you look at it, I would say one other before we go to who we pick for the game is, in your eyes, does SGA and Halliburton both have to have big games for their teams to win, or can their teams win with them not having a big game on either side? So go ahead, Tweety. What you think? Can OKC win with Halliburton not having a big game? I mean, can OKC win without SGA having a big game? And can Indiana win without Halliburton having a big game?
No, not at all.
On both sides.
OKC need SGA.
Okay.
They need SGA to score the ball. Mm-hmm. They need 30, 35, 40 points from SGA to win the game. And no, for Indiana, Halliburton, they don't need him to score 10 points for them to win because they got so many scorers out there to shoot the ball, and all he needs is facilitate, assist, and they can still win this game. So it's just OKC with SGA.
Okay. All right, Q, how about you?
Hey, same here. Yes, SGA has been carrying this team the whole year with about averaging 35, 40 points, almost a triple, double, triple, almost every game. We're going to need that out of him because that's what he's expected to do. On the other side, Halliburton, he can have an okay game. He can not make it to 20. He can make it to 17 points and still be effective and be, a dog. He just needs to be there at that moment when they need him to be there, and I think he'll be just fine. So yes for OKC, no for no
No
for
for Halliburton.
OKC.
Okay.
And yeah.
All right, Martin. What do you think?
I actually agree with them, but I agree totally with the SGA because I think they do need SGA to step up and have a big game for OKC to win. Because with him being aggressive and him getting to the free throw line and all that, I think they really need that to try and win this game tonight. I do agree with that. With Halliburton, I can't disagree a little bit back and forth because the thing is, to me, I'm saying I want him to score. I really do, but if he can just have a good point guard game and just being aggressive in that sense, and then getting other people involved and stuff like that, if he's doing that, I don't think he had to score 20. But if he comes out and being aggressive and getting people good shots and stuff like that, no, I don't think he had to score 20. And it's been proven that they can win without him scoring 20 points. But of course, their record is a lot better when he do score 20. But they have shown that they can win a game with him not scoring 20. So I don't think he has to have a big game to win. So because they do have a lot of other people that can score the basketball, but he can't come in here and turn the ball over and all that shit either. So I mean, that's gonna be key today. I think he cannot be turning the ball over because it's been proven the team that turn the ball over usually loses that game. Right. So I don't think he had to score 20 though, but he can't play bad as a point guard either.
Right. So I'm gonna say that I'm gonna differ from all of y'all. I'm gonna say I think the OKC is a given. I think we all know and are on the same page that SGA got to score to take the pressure off of OKC and allow everybody else to feel the game out and to play. I think he's got to have a big game. I think on the other side with Halliburton, I would normally say no, but I'm gonna say yes today. He has to have a big game, and why? This is fucking game 7. Number 1. Number 2, this game 7 is on the road. So when you don't have a superstar, then your star has to come in. Your stars, I think both he and Siakam are their stars. But I would say for him is he has to come in and have a good game. I think he has to get over that 20 because you want to not have your bench players come in and have the pressure immediately on them because they down because the starters, in particular Halliburton, didn't play good. So I think Halliburton, it's his job to come in today, set the tone early, and let everybody else feed off of him, as opposed to him coming in, doing that unaggressive shit and bullshitting. And even if he is facilitating, one thing you see with him is his facilitation and his scoring go together. Right? He averages his most assists when he scores over that 21 points. So I would say for Halliburton today, because it's game 7, because they're on the road, because they're going to be in a very hostile environment, he's got to take the pressure off everybody else and take on a bit more of a burden and go get points, go get buckets to allow them to be able to ease into the game and then to play off his lead. So I'm going to say Halliburton, I think he's got to play big today. And he's got to come out and get past this 12, 13, 14 bullshit and score some points and get his 10 assists.
I think it's going to be, but see, I think it's going to be Siakam that's going to do that.
Exactly.
I mean, not assist, but I think Siakam got to be the guy.
Exactly.
I depend on Siakam more than I depend on Halliburton. I just don't have the faith in Halliburton like that, but I have the faith in Siakam. So I'm thinking that Siakam is going to be that person.
And it ain't about faith though. Yeah. I'm saying that if Halliburton comes out, they ain't 8-0 for no reason. I'm saying faith that he's going to do it. I'm saying he has to do it. Really, I think to get him a chance to pull it off a game 7 victory.
Okay. But the engine of that team right now is Siakam. You got to get him going. You got to get him as the drive. I believe, Rodney, is the guy. Yes. Halliburton has to have a great game, and we're gonna push for 20 for him. But you say he needs to be over, but I can go under and still consider him in a great game. But I believe no matter what, if Siakam don't get going, they're done, bro.
I would say this: Siakam is the stabilizing force to the team. Meaning, in those points during the game when they hit lulls, Siakam getting buckets, That's what Siakam is, and he's very valuable from that standpoint. The engine to that team, the fucking engine that makes that team go, is Halliburton. Halliburton get going, they win easy today if he comes out and he gets going. Halliburton is the engine to that team. Halliburton is the stabilizing force of the team. That's the difference.
That ain't who won the MVP.
What?
I don't know.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Look, when Stephen won the championship against back years ago, and fucking what's the name? Iguodala won it. It don't matter who. That shit don't mean that. It's winning. It's like different players, different roles. Based on your role in that point, that moment, that series is different.
Him here, bro.
Yeah.
So if Indiana win,
he carried to them this point too in this series.
Yeah. So if Indiana win,
he ain't carried them. The bench has carried them. Okay. Siakam was only averaging like 20 points a game. You ain't carrying nobody by averaging 20 points a game. He had 28 in one game, but he's averaging like 20 points a game.
Yeah. I agree with you that Halliburton supposed to be that guy. He do supposed to be that guy. But I'm just saying I'm not dependent on that because he really haven't gave you nothing like that.
Yeah.
I'm not dependent on. I'm just not dependent on that because he haven't gave it to us.
Yeah, I'm just saying their team is at their best when Halliburton scores and assists. That's what I'm saying. He's the engine.
No, he is.
Go ahead, Tweety.
Indiana win.
Go ahead, Tweety.
Indiana win. And Siakam gets 30 points, and Halliburton he gets 15 points and 8 rebounds. Who win MVP?
Siakam should be the MVP. Siakam will be the MVP. Yeah, Siakam should be the MVP
for sure.
He's been more consistent the whole season.
Okay, so anyway, if Indiana wins, Siakam is the MVP of this season of this series.
Yeah. Halliburton has been consistent.
I think it depends on today as well. Because I'm gonna say a couple things. I mean, if Siakam come out and score 30 something today and they win, Siakam should get MVP.
Okay.
He should. I really think even if Halliburton come out and have a triple-double today, I don't think he should get MVP. That's just my opinion. I don't think he should get MVP, even if he have to come out and have a triple-double today. Because, don't get me wrong. I mean, it'd be huge for him. It'd be huge for him today. But throughout the whole series, no, he hasn't been consistent enough for me at all.
No, I agree with that. But what I would say is Siakam hasn't carried them because he's only averaging 19, 20 points a game. You ain't carrying nobody at 19, 20 points a game. What I'm saying is he's been a stabilizing force. When they hit points where they don't score, that's when Siakam is really big for them. That's when he's the biggest probably. To start the game off, whenever he starts the game off fast, it's a positive for them. But I don't think he carried him. I think the bench has been the one that carried more than anything.
Right. So nobody averaged over 20 points for the series for Indiana.
Yeah.
It's been a team effort though. It's been a team
effort.
I think he's
for sure.
I think he's been your best player.
Yeah, he's been the best player.
It's been a team effort for sure.
Yeah. He's been hands down the best player on the floor for Indiana, and the most consistent. But in the game 7, when you're playing and you have to have everybody at their best, I think Halliburton, he can't come out bullshitting. All right, or if he is, then you got to sit him down more and play TJ more because TJ then gives you that energy boost. Right, where he hasn't done it, TJ has done it, and that's been the difference. TJ has been that energizer from a defensive, offensive, everything.
Yeah, like
the
microwave coming off the bench.
Yes, exactly.
He has been that.
All right, now
they can't do nothing with that boy.
So we're at game 7. Who you got, Tweety? Who you got? You sticking with your pick?
I'm still riding the bus. I'm on the choo train. I'm going OKC. OKC is gonna win this game tonight. But if he happen to win, oh well, OKC, you should have won the game 6. Your fault.
I agree.
Your fault. But I'm still going with OKC and game 7 to win it tonight.
Okay. All right, Q. How about you?
Hey, we've been dancing down this road, flip-flopping back and forth to get to this game 7. Don't happen often. I'm happy we're here. I believe that OKC has got this money in the bank. Shorty, what you think? Because you can't convince me that they played that crappy in Game 6. To come back here and lay an egg on Game 7. So I believe OKC is going to take care of business. I like Mr. Rice's OKC +5. I like that, Rice. I like
Okay.
that.
All right, Bart, what you got?
Hey, it's looking like 2016 to me, baby. It's looking like 2016 to me. And you know what happened in 2016? The road team, won in Game 7. The road team won in Game 7, and I think we're gonna have the same thing happen tonight. I think Indiana is gonna come out and they're gonna come out from the beginning and play a physical game the way they came out in Game 6. And I think Tweety is right. I think OKC did kind of just lay down and say, you know what, we got one at home, so we good, and that's gonna come back to haunt them. You don't never get no game up in the NBA Finals, and I think they did that. And Indiana will come out aggressive today defensively. They're gonna push Boney Boy around again today. They're gonna throw down that bench, and McConnell, Toppin, and thank you, Tweety. You're right. Matthew gonna step up today, and they're gonna get that dub today. Indiana win the national championship.
All right,
NBA championship.
You got it right.
I'm about to say national. All right, I'm gonna say
you know what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna say today. I think Game 7 road. I think coaching is gonna be big. I think Carlisle advantage Indiana like in the beginning of the series. Advantage Carlisle. I think Carlisle is gonna have some wrinkles. Like I said earlier, I think one of the wrinkles he's gonna have is I think he's gonna throw a little zone in different spots to force OKC to shoot the ball, and they haven't shot the ball well. They haven't proven they can make shots. So I think that is one side of things. I think the other thing is shame on OKC for not giving a better effort or whatever you want to call it for Game 6. Like Tweety said, I agree with that 100%. Because you just put confidence into this team that had confidence at the wrong point in the series. Indiana wins the game today. I think they get the collection of players to step up today, and I think Indiana wins the game outright and wins the NBA championship today. Book it. It's going to be with a high degree of certainty. Indiana wins today. I think they're going to be the guys that pull this game out.
If it's close in the fourth quarter, I think Indiana go.
It's close.
I hope y'all got them seatbelts that y'all are game close. Y'all gonna need them for Game 7 too, because it's gonna be a tough one for y'all fellas.
Well, I got news for you, Quinn.
We good.
I done had a seatbelt on the whole series because I say Indiana from the beginning, and look, and they one of the biggest underdogs in the NBA. So I had every game I have my seatbelt on. Hey, it ain't coming off now.
It been diamond in the. It been smooth sailing for me, baby. It been smooth sailing.
Yeah,
I'm glad we got here. We needed this. I told y'all at the beginning of this series, America. The Hood Report. We all needed 7 games. Let's get this shit, baby.
Yeah, we got 7 games.
Yes, sir.
If OKC win, is Caruso MVP?
He co-MVP. He co-MVP with SGA.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what last one we got before we get ready to get out of here is looking at the board. What's your best bet for today? What's your best bet on the championship today?
Oh,
go ahead.
Can I go first on this one?
Go ahead.
This is easy. This is easy money. I mean, now I'm taking Indiana. I'm betting the points. I am taking the points, and I think it's gonna be a close game. So I got Indiana plus 7.5. I think that's the way to go. Put some money in your pocket. It's gonna be a close game tonight. I do think Indiana gonna pull it out, but I think it's gonna be a close game. Give me that 7.5. That's easy money. Put in your pocket.
Okay. All right, Quentin or Tweety, one of you guys want to go next? Go ahead.
I'd say I like Rice's 5. I knew OKC was gonna win, so I'll say I'm already picking them to win. I think they can cover 5 points.
Hey, the spread is not 5 points. The spread is 7.5.
7.5.
So we got to take the spread. We got to take that.
Huh?
We got to take that 6.5.
Are you talking about bet them down? Are you talking about bet them down?
We have to take it either way. I didn't.
I'm saying.
No.
Are you saying to bet it down? That's the pick.
Yeah, bet it down.
Okay. He said bet it down. Okay. Well, you got to say that.
5.5. My bad. Bet it down to 5.5. They're still gonna win. That's the most important thing.
Okay. Well, why don't you just say bet OKC money line? But okay, I ain't gonna say nothing. That's your bet.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Tweety, what you got?
Oh, please, you know what Tweety gonna say.
You know what? I'm gonna take OKC with the points.
With
OKC
the points.
with the points.
Oh, you giving up the points you're saying.
So you think OKC gonna win by 8? Okay.
They gonna win by 10.
Okay. All
OKC
right.
gonna win by 10. So
All right.
everybody out there, take OKC plus
Okay. All right.
with the points. They
America,
gonna win by 10.
America, stick with the people who pick OKC to begin with. Don't stick with these other guys. It'll let y'all down.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
but they haven't let down so far. I mean, it's 3-3.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what you've been watching.
And
they ain't let down too much.
Yeah, in a series
Hey,
where
put your money on Indiana tonight.
In a series where the favorite was minus 700. The favorite was minus 700 in the series. That's the largest betting margin in like the last 25 plus years. So the fact that we picked them and they're here and it's 3-3, it says something. So I'll say this: my bet for the day is I think SGA is going to show up. Obviously, I think he's going to have a good game. I think SGA right now the bet line has them at 33.5. I think SGA goes over that 33.5 without a doubt. And then I would couple with that. I think Pascal Siakam, as you guys indicated, key player for them, stabilizing force. I agree. Mm-hmm. I think taking him over to 20.5. I think Siakam comes out early. I think he gets at least 8 to 10 points in the first quarter, and he'll be over 20 for the game. So I think those two are two prop bets that I think are good to go for today. I think both of those players show up in the big game, and it's not going to be contingent on them. It's going to be contingent on other people to show up in order for them to be successful. So, all right, with that, we've come to the end of our time. Real quick, reactions to before we jump off. We'll hit this. The KD goes to Houston in exchange for 5 number 2s, the number 1 this year, and for Jalen Green and for what's his name from Oregon, Dylan Brooks. Yeah, Dylan Brooks. So hey, what's your quick thoughts, Tweety? What's your thought on the trade?
Houston is going to be a problem next year. Houston is going to be a problem because they didn't get rid of Van Fleet. They didn't get rid of Thompson.
They kept Thompson.
And they didn't get rid of.
Hey, and what did I say? I told you they wouldn't give it Thompson up. That they would get rid of Jalen Green.
Yeah, so Houston going to be a problem. They might win the West. They going to come at least in second or third place in the West. And Houston going to be a problem. And Phoenix, I don't know what the hell they doing. They just they're going to be last.
They need to unload.
They're going to be last.
They ain't going to unload. All right, Martin, what do you think? Quick reaction on the KD move going to Houston. What does that do for Houston?
That's going to be real big for Houston because anybody that watched basketball this year, the one thing, the biggest thing that Houston had problems with is with scoring. And one thing KD gonna do, KD gonna put the ball in the basket, and that's what they needed. I mean, they play good defense. They got a leader in the coach. They got good players around them. I think Houston's gonna be a big problem next year. I mean, because you're not KD to come here to be no leader and lead the team. No, he don't have to do that. All KD got to do over here. I do think he got to play defense too because they're a defensive team.
Right.
But KD got to put the ball in the basket. That's what they picked him up for, to put the ball in the basket. And that's the one thing for sure I know KD can do is put the ball in the basket. So I think it's a great trade for Houston.
It was.
They're going to have a window that these next 2 years to try and get it done. And they got the team now to get it done, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they do.
And the coach. Go ahead, Q.
Absolutely.
What you think?
Absolutely. Well, a quick shout out to our brother, Mr. Mark West, who after having our show on the Hood Report, must have went right back to Phoenix management and told them, hey, these guys know what they're talking about. We need to get this guy to Houston. We get the most return because it happened right after that. So shout out to that. So I think it was me and Rod, we kicked on this earlier, and we thought it would be a great move for KD because I think he's going somewhere where they can win now. And not only that, you're going with a coach who's going to hold him accountable. So that's most important. And on the flip side for Phoenix, I think the return was great for them. You know, the first round pick, the players they got, and then the four, I think, second round picks. That's big for them. That's huge. That's what they needed. They needed like a fresh start, building over, and this is what they needed too. So it's a win-win on both sides.
Okay. All right, good deal. I think what I was saying, so Phoenix, I think Phoenix got some more shedding of salary to do. So they got to work through that Bradley Beal situation and get him out of there. And I think from there they will get the fresh start they're looking for on the Phoenix side. So they're going to go down before they come back up. And then I think on the Houston side, scoring was the deficiency for them against Golden State when they lost this year. So I think adding KD, that's a bona fide scorer. He's going to get you 27 a night and do it at a high efficiency level. And I think people sleep on KD actually is a good playmaker too. He actually moves good without the ball, so he'll find other players and get them better shots. So I think with that, it'll make VanVleet better because he's going to get more open shots. It's going to make Thompson, give him a chance to develop a little bit more because he's going to get everybody on their team now gets better shots because KD got added to the mix because there's going to be so much attention on him. Right. And he's, quite honestly hard to stop. So I think Houston's going to be one of the teams to watch out for next year. They actually moved up to second in the odds for coming out of the West after the move. The betting lines changed. So, now's a good time. They were plus 800 for Houston. So if you think Houston is the move, now's the time to bet them plus 800 for next season to make it out of the West. So, hey, with that, we've exhausted our time. We've hit everything that we promised we were going to hit. Tweety, hit them.
Like and subscribe to Hood Report 2025.
Hey, please like and subscribe. We got that Hood gear coming real soon. The store opens on July 3rd. More to come, advertisements and everything. That shit is fresh as hell. As you can see, we're sporting it. And we want you to sport it too. So peace out. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy Game 7. And we want you to sport it too. So peace out. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy Game 7. And we want you to sport it too.